Good evening, and welcome to the St. Petersburg by Night Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we present to you our Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle, Hellhounds.
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the heart of night, we rise from shadows, howling at the moon, igniting our battles, cleansing dire of an endless fight, until our final days we will fight. Thanks, man, we stand united as one. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the grave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Everywhere we run, the wind is at our back. All the world's forces we will track. From the depths of the ocean to the clouds in the sky, vampires tremble as we learn to fight. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the grave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Everywhere with the pack, let the night be our guide. In battles of honor, we shall never hide. Don't you never hide.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Pete by Night Entertainment Network, where we play St. Petersburg by Night, a massive multiplayer 5th edition World of Darkness chronicle set in the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. My name is Kent, also known as Misha Kent on all social media, and I am the lead storyteller of St. Pete by Night. And it is Friday night here on YouTube. And if you paid attention last week, you know that we are having a new series here on YouTube called Hellhounds, our second Werewolf the Apocalypse chronicle set in the city of Tampa in the Rage Across Tampa canon. Our new pack of Guru have arrived in Tampa, and they have arrived in a rather interesting fashion. They have made quite a splash in Tampa, but we'll be talking about that in just a moment. Go follow St. Pete by Night and on all of the social media listed down in the description if you want to stay up to date on all the happenings over in St. Pete. But for now, let's get into something a little bit more comfortable. That's better. As I said, our pack of Guru, known as the Hellhounds from Hell, Michigan, made quite a splash when they arrived and were finally introduced to Matthias Morningkill, the Silver Fang patron that welcomed them to the city. However, we saw tensions already start to rise among the pack after Juniper Spartan kicked Deadbeat into the house in their first meeting with Matthias. However, Deadbeat will return the favor in kind in their first meeting with their Sept leader, Aspen, and their Master of the Howl, Jester, when he would Spartan kick Juniper into the cairn itself. What does this mean for their future when they are going to be introduced to the warder, Charles, tonight? All that and more will be discovered in tonight's episode. But this story couldn't be told without a rather chaotic and fantastic group of players. So let's go ahead and get to introducing that group of players now. Players, go ahead and introduce yourselves, if you please.
Hello everyone, name is Jay. I'll be playing Deadbeat, the Bonar rune.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki and I will be playing Delphine Ruinspeaker, the Silent Strider Theurge.
Hello, everyone. I am Ben, and I will be playing Raymond Gorn, the Ghost Council Philodox.
Hello there. I am Caity, and I will be playing Rory Woods, the Bonar Galliard.
Hello, everyone. I am Lilith, and I will be playing Juniper Camine, a Black Fury Ragabash.
So, players, we made quite the splash, not just in the city of Tampa, but here on YouTube with your debut, as we saw quite the turnout on our first episode debut, but also we've seen quite the turnout on video on demand. So congratulations to you, players, and thank you to the turnout of the audience that came out to see our debut episode. However, was that turnout well received by your Sept? Only that remains to be seen, as, well, we saw not just one, not just two, but 3 litany breaks all at once in one action at one time, as Deadbeat, knowing that it was wartime, as told by Matthias Morningkill in the meeting prior to the introduction to the Sept leader, decided to challenge Aspen, the Sept leader, who was then told that the challenge would be the knowledge of the litany, which he clearly didn't know. Now, the litany did state that challenging the leader in wartime was breaking the litany, disrespecting your elders was breaking the litany, and disrespecting another's territory was breaking the litany. All which he managed to accomplish with just that very action. The consequences of that will be dealt with tonight. However, before we get to all that, let's just see how our pack leader and the offender decide to deal with their new housing arrangement, as they have become roommates. We transition now to later that very evening, after that introduction to the Sept leader, as Raymond and Deadbeat find themselves in the bedroom back at the home that they have now found to be their home base. It is later that evening as the two of you arrive back at the house. The ride back was tense and probably very quiet, as everyone had to ponder and consider everything that happened at that first introduction. Was it good? Probably not. Was it bad? Most definitely. And while there weren't necessarily punishments doled out, a lot of warnings were given. Tampa is a very dangerous place, and there are a lot more threats waiting you here than you even begun to think about. Vampires are real. Your old Sept didn't even begin to touch on that. The plants that you thought only existed in Michigan may have even been sourced here. And what else? Who knows? This may be a much, much bigger test than you were even told about. And on top of all that, you live in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in a ramshackle neighborhood. And there are 6 of you living in this house. As you walk into the small bedroom with 2 beds shoved up against separate walls, Ray, Deadbeat, the scene is yours.
You see, as I walk in, I just look so incredibly dumb with the situation. I already have grumbled about how Ray should just take the floor in the living room and get a little dog bed, but instead having to deal with him here. I just kind of shoulders are just kind of down as I just. All right, Ray, don't touch any of my shit, okay? You stay on your side, and just do whatever the fuck you do over there.
I am also not too happy with this arrangement that was decided. I mean, I'm livid at Deadbeat right now and having to now share a very small room with him. I'm not at all happy about this situation. I mean, there's not much for me to touch. You didn't bring much down here. But of course, I will stay on my side. But we need to talk, man.
I'm like walking towards my bed with a single backpack with all my clothes in it and like a guitar case. As I plop my guitar case on the bed, I look back, like, talk about what?
What do you mean, talk about what? What just happened? I mean, we were already on thin ice coming in here with the current situation of you and Delphine being shamed. But you just had to pull a stunt like that in front of the Sept leader? I mean, you broke 2 litanies not, 4 days ago? You just had to beat your record and break 3?
I was just getting Juniper back for what she did to me, okay? I didn't start this shit, alright? I was Juniper starting this shit. And also, it's not my fault they're kind of stuck up assholes and they're just pretending that they're so much better than all of us. Like we're just some trash that they decided to pull off from the street.
First off, time and place for everything. You could have totally got back at her for that situation today, later today, or tomorrow. But you had to do it in front of them. And they're not stuck up assholes. They are the leaders of this Sept. And they asked for our assistance. They're not thinking that they're better than us. They need help. Obviously, the situation's bad. Why did you think that was a good idea?
Currently just kind of looking around right now, not kind of meeting your gaze, just agitated as I'm just... Look, man, I did what I fucking did. Look, I didn't get punished. Nothing bad happened right now to any of us, right? So we're fine. No water in the bridge. Everything's okay. We got through with it scot-free, and now we know, hey, we now know where the boundary kind of lies.
I will look exasperated at that statement and step a little closer to Deadbeat. What do you mean, water under the bridge? We were given a warning when currently you and Delphine are on the biggest warning that we have. This is not water underneath the bridge at all. I don't think you understand that you think that there's no punishment. There's going to be a punishment. It just hasn't happened yet. And at this point, it's not going to be another exile. It's going to be you dead. And I don't want that. Even though you're self-centered and everything has to revolve around you, you're right, every excuse is not your problem. Like, you're still part of the pack, and I still have to try and help you not die. That's my responsibility, and you make it infinitely more difficult by you doing these idiotic things.
You done? You want to get it off your chest? That's what you want to get off?
I'm not going to be done until you decide to stop being an idiot. And at this point, I don't think that's humanly possible.
Now kind of my gaze meets yours now as I stare down at you for a few moments, kind of nodding to that. As I'll just say, but you think that pissed me off, huh? And then I'm immediately gonna grab him by his shirt and try and throw him against the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength and brawl. Now,
So we can add my grappling.
yeah, you can add your grappling. Ray, you could see this coming. This isn't going to be considered a sneak attack, so you can either do a dexterity and athletics to avoid, or you can make a strength and brawl to try and block or counter.
I'll do Dex Athletics.
Okay.
It's going to be a 6 with a brutal, or the rage dice one.
There's only 4 successes.
Okay. So you are able to grab him. You were intending to slam him against the wall or throw him against the wall?
I'm slamming against the wall, like kind of pin him up against the wall.
Okay. So as he grabs you and pushes you back up against the wall, you do feel your back slam against the wall, and there is a slight crunch of the drywall giving in a little bit as you take 1 point of superficial damage.
I don't know what gave you the fucking idea that you could talk to me like that, like you some big macho man here, when you forget you're my bitch. I could fuck you up whenever I want. And so go ahead. Keep talking. Keep running that mouth. Cause I can show you, I can introduce you to the fucking floor right now.
Get with the push against the wall, breath kind of knocked out of me a little bit. I don't care if you throw me around this room, knock me to the ground, knock my lights out. I am saying what you need to hear. Most of the time, everyone just goes along with whatever you say and whatever crap that comes out of your mouth. Or they just insult you. Sure, I've come off a little strong, but this is something you need to hear. I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm telling you the truth.
I'm gonna take this information in as I am now going to rip you and try and hip toss you to the floor now.
Okay. Another strength and brawl. You are grappled currently, so you can try and, again, dexterity and athletics or strength and brawl. You would have to strength and brawl to break the grapple. If you try to do a dexterity and athletics to try and slip out, you'll be at a -1 dice to try and do so.
I'll try a strength and brawl then.
Okay.
5 successes.
Two.
Okay, so as he wheels around and hip tosses you, bringing you down to the ground with a heavy thud, you take another 2 points of superficial damage as you thud down to the ground.
They slam you to the ground. I imagine like kind of on top of you as I'm holding you down. They say, "More you talk, the more you get slammed around. Just shut the fuck up. Say, I'm sorry, Deadbeat, and you can stop getting beat up and stop putting on this fucking tough guy act here and pretending that you can just take this. Because I will beat you to unconsciousness. I don't care. So go ahead, try me. I'm more than happy to just whoop your ass right here and now if you want to keep this going."
Again, when knocked out, Deadbeat laying into me, over top of me. I will not be quiet. You need to hear this. At this point, you are just a child throwing a tantrum. I am not trying to make the situation worse. I'm trying to get through to you to some extent, but you refuse to listen. Just, please, open your fucking ears and listen.
Just sitting on top of you as I'm just holding you down, face contorted in anger, and I just, oh my fucking god, you just don't stop, do you? And I'm going to try and just gonna stand up, just letting you go, and I'm just gonna go over to my bed and just start unpacking, like opening my bag. Just shut the fuck up. God, fucking, you think you're so cool doing that shit, acting like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and get my ass whooped and talk about this message if you need to hear it. No, you look pathetic and you look like a bitch. So just shut up. I'm tired of this now. I'm gonna go get my shit. You get your shit. Or I can make this room stink. One of the two. You know I can.
I'll get up off the ground a little slowly, because I'm a little hurt, but more of the situation. I'm not trying to act cool. I am not trying to show that I am better than you. I just want you to understand. Please. I didn't ask to be put in this position of leadership. I didn't ask to be handed this pack. But I want us to succeed. You're strong. You throw your weight around. You are obviously good in a fight and you know how to use your strengths. But you give into your weaknesses way too much. I want you to just stop and think for a minute whenever you try to do something that might make everyone's situation worse. Because it's not just you. Whenever you open your mouth and you say something stupid or you do a stupid action, it affects everyone. And I want you to understand that. And
Yeah, I should.
You know what? Just, you can have the room for the night. I'm going to go sleep in my truck. Just, please, just think about it. Please.
There isn't a response. My back's still turned to you as I'm like unpacking the bag, just quietly working on it, getting my clothes out. I like look back for a moment, almost with like disgust and disdain for looking back to my own bag and just resuming working without any sort of response.
I'll move towards the door, open it up, and before I leave, I'll turn back. A man knows when to put away his pride for the betterment of those around him. And at this point, you haven't shown any sort of respect for any of us. And I know that's how you are. But you need to understand that that needs to change at least a little. And then I will close the door and go to my truck.
I'll make sure when he closes the door, I wait for a moment before going to the door and locking it.
Ray, what are you thinking after this conversation with Deadbeat as you're making your way through the rest of the house out towards your truck?
I knew I wasn't probably going to be able to get through to him, but I need to at least start somewhere. I 100% knew he was going to throw me around. I thought he was just going to punch me. But if it would allow him to let some of his frustration out, I understand what I needed to do and just take it fight back a little bit, but not actually strike him. This, out of everyone in the pack, he's the one that is going to tear it apart. And I need to try to secure the weakest link. Because if I don't, everything falls apart with Deadbeat. And I hope that this is at least the beginning of him to understand that.
Back in the room, Deadbeat, as you're stewing over everything that's been said, having locked the door, having the room to yourself, as you've always wanted, as you've always deserved, make a composure and resolve check for me.
All right. One success.
The room that felt large and empty, that felt like yours, your kingdom, your castle, doesn't feel as large and empty for long. As it feels dark, and a voice starts to enter your mind. Good. Very good. You are the predator. They are the prey. Don't let them know weakness.
I look around, like, really confused as I can listen to this voice, and oh my, one of these spirit things. Oh God, are you like this fire thing? Are you like the friend that I have? Which one are you now? I've losing track how many of you guys are talking in my head, or I guess to me.
I am you, or what you could be.
Looks confused for a second for like being a certified badass. What I am? That's what you mean? Like talking about throwing them around and stuff? That's what you mean?
Exactly. Don't stop what you're doing.
Not gonna lie though, it's kind of annoying. Kind of sucks. I don't want to have to keep doing this shit. But goddamn, they're always causing fucking problems. They're always agitating me. They're always trying to make me try and be someone that I'm not. All of them pretending that they're not shitty people too when they're as bad as me or even worse. It just pisses me off, man. I'm just tired of it. Like, and then you have to do that act. It's just so annoying and just sitting there, not really fighting back. Just, this is not you, Deadbeat. You could be better. You need to hear this. I'm just, my God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Then who needs them?
I need this house, and I can't just leave. I gotta actually be here, and like, I can go under the radar. Things will be okay. It's either if I'm here and just kind of chill out, they, barely do enough I need to do, get them to know that not to mess with me, and I can just relax. Until then, it's just annoying to deal with, but it'll be okay soon.
Will it? We'll see. How much more of this will you be able to take? Who will be the bitch now?
I'm not the bitch. I'm not the bitch. I'm just kind of for a second just sitting there before I grab my bag and just throw it against the wall. Just, I'm not the fucking bitch. I'm not the bitch. I am not. God damn it. And I just kind of go over and pick up the clothes that are now scattered around the floor in the bag as I'm huffing and puffing. Just, God damn it.
Enjoy your collar, good boy.
You're like I can't go in the spirit world, you fucker. I'd beat the shit out of you for that one.
Come and try it. And with that, the presence fades and the room grows big and empty once again.
Just left alone, I kind of grab the rest of my clothes from the floor, put it back on the bed as I sit down and hold my head in my hands. Just, God damn it. Fuck. I'm actually gonna have to talk to fucking Delphine. Shit. I'm just gonna sit there and ponder how fucked I am right now.
With all these thoughts going through your mind, do you stay or do you go? Do you wear the collar or do you continue to rage? We move on to another duo, contemplating the future as one seeks out something they've been missing. We now find ourselves in downtown Tampa along the Riverwalk. Delphine and Rory came downtown originally seeking out the Gasparilla Music Festival, only to find that the music festival had been canceled, much to their chagrin. But luck would have it, at least for Delphine, that an opportunity might present itself, because Delphine, as you are very, very aware at this point, it's been over a week since you've had your fix. And the effects of withdrawal have started to really take hold. The shakes, the sleepless nights, the aches, the pains, the crawling sensation on your skin, the cold sweats. It's really, really becoming more and more of a problem. So as you walk along the Riverwalk, looking for any signs, any possibilities, any opportunities, the scene is yours.
Delphine, despite the heat of the Florida evening, is wearing leggings and an oversized chunky sweater with some sneakers. You can see she's sweating a little bit, and she's got her hair in a braid, kind of tucking the shame braid into it so that way it isn't as apparent. She looks rather disappointed and annoyed that the music festival had been canceled, because normally at music festivals you can find dealers of all varieties. And while she was trying to also make amends with Rory in a sense, the drugs was really her main objective this evening. And on top of all of the withdrawal symptoms she's been experiencing, she's starting to get to the point where she's beginning to pick at the corners of her mouth, leaving little red marks just out of sheer frustration and anxiety and restlessness. She'll look to Rory and just, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was going to be canceled. I made us drive all this way for fucking nothing, I guess.
It is what it is. I mean, at least we're getting to see our new stomping grounds.
I mean, I was hoping, like, for the music festival, I thought you would have fun with that, considering I don't know you very well, but you seem to like music, so I thought that would be a good way for me to kind of, I guess, apologize for all the shit that went down up north.
Rory's just gonna kind of give her a slightly amused look, and today she tried to wear the hoodie, but could not deal with the heat, so she has it currently tied around her waist and taking on a new appearance of like wearing her hair up more often because of the heat, which is a rarity around the pack. She'll just kind of look at Delphine a little amused and pull out a cigarette and light it. You thought I liked music. What gave you that idea?
The guitar or the dobro, I don't know which one's which because you and Deadbeat keep arguing over it. And you always going out and listening to music and doing the busking stuff, playing for tips.
Sure, we'll call it tips.
But yeah, I thought that there's been stories of that I've read growing up. Like, I like Greek mythology a lot, so like I remembered that I read about how Hermes pissed off Apollo at one point, and he stole Apollo's cattle. Apollo was mad about that, and to apologize, Hermes made him and gave him a lyre, so he gifted him with music. So I thought, music as a gift, that might help things out with all the shit.
So you thought you were gonna Greek mythology me. And after lighting her cigarette, she will offer one to Delphine, seeing she's been picking at her lips and stuff.
She'll eye it for a minute because she doesn't really smoke cigarettes, surprisingly enough, but she's just at the point where she's just so desperate for something that she'll take it, study it in between her fingers a little bit, and then hold out her hand for a lighter.
And Rory will go to light it for her.
In the spark of the flame dances for a moment at the edge of the lighter. Just for a moment, the flame burns a little higher, a little brighter, a little stronger. Takes on a more ethereal appearance before it ignites the tip of the cigarette and then burns out. But the cigarette starts to glow.
Delphine will stare at the flame and at the lighter in confusion.
Rory will look a little amused at the lighter and then put it away. I guess our little friend doesn't want to show up today. Still got to come up with a name for him.
Little friend?
Yeah, I saw and spoke to. And realizing they're out in public, something in the flame, and told them next time I saw them I'd have a name for him.
Did it kind of look like Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle?
Rory will think on that for a second. A little, but not as, sassy and fire demon-y.
Ray and I met them too. At the bar right before we left.
Well, that's interesting. I thought they made a little home, and she'll pull out the lighter again.
And I'd like to spend a willpower and try to use penumbral senses to see if our little friend has followed us.
Okay. Pushing your senses outwards, like a photo negative being pressed over a photograph itself. your vision blurs and doubles, seeing this world and the world beyond. There is a great deal of presence of the water as you stand by the waterways that make up the Riverwalk nearby, the river and the bay. You feel the flowing water as water spirits flow nearby. You see the presence of the Weaver all around as construction. The Weaver's presence is strong here. Webs make up most of the area. Pattern spiders crawl all around on the buildings nearby. Patching, constructing, monitoring. But even still, amongst it all, dancing lightly across the webs, a small, skittering flame moves amongst the webs, passing lightly over them, almost playfully avoiding the water, staying just out of reach of it. Watching, pausing, moving around both of you, encircling both of you.
It looks like they followed us.
They friendly or?
As far as I could gather, they were okay. Ember is what me and Ray ended up calling it.
Well, that's better than my first idea of her name.
Delphine is kind of just like mouth agape a little bit because she's never been in a cityscape using penumbral senses before and has never seen so much of the Weaver before. So she's kind of forgetting herself in the moment, completely oblivious to the fact that people could be watching her, thinking she's crazy, and just staring at all of the webs, all of the pattern spiders, and just all of the magnificence, honestly, that is the Weaver, and seeing how much it can take over, because she's only ever really been around the wild with a very small presence of the Weaver, with the small buildings that they've inhabited.
Roll me a wits and awareness.
Three successes.
As you're drawn in by the majesty of the Weaver, the magnificence of its architecture, that majesty becomes more and more horrific as your eyes are drawn to the cityscape beyond. Because while the webs crawl towards the skyscrapers in the distance, you see that they grow taller and taller, looming higher and higher until they pass into a smoggy cloudscape up above, looming higher and higher up above, studying these large webbed structures. You watch and you see something unusual. You see something strange as the pattern spiders crawl up along the webs. Roll me a wits and investigation.
Zero successes.
There's something looming above the cloud cover. Something large, but you're unable to see because the clouds are just too thick. something just out of sight. But the large spires, the large skyscrapers coming out of the ground, there's something just not right about them, something strange. The way they're built, the way they're shaped, seems unusual.
Delphine will shut her eyes and back up a little bit until, like, basically her back hits the railings along the canal and deactivate her penumbral senses. She doesn't want to see it anymore, but she'll kind of cover her eyes that are still squeezed shut and start rubbing her temples, hands shaking just a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as her hands start shaking, Rory's gonna take the cigarette out of them so we don't accidentally cause a fire anywhere. Careful there. Don't want to dig too deep.
Sorry. It's a lot. I've never seen a city before since, and she just gestures to herself since all this, and it's nothing like hell was the other side.
Well, yeah, it's hell. I would imagine not much is like that.
But hell, she looks around, hell was more natural. This, it looked fine at first, but the more I looked at it, the more scary it was.
Define scary, because going from a small town to a big city can be classified as scary.
So you can see, and she just gestures to all of the skyscrapers, you see all of that, right?
Yeah, I see it.
On the surface, that's what we all see, but I can see it when I put my mind to it, almost like a photo negative on top of the real picture. Have you ever seen photos of those fields covered in webs?
Storyteller, would I have seen those?
Probably not. Based off of your kind of origin and where you've been from, that'd be a very unusual thing to be exposed to.
All right. Not in particular. So Rory's gonna actually now Google one of those photos just to see if she could
Sure.
understand what Delphine is talking about and just kind of look at it on her phone.
And then there's just a wrongness to it, too. The smog, the clouds. Could see something was up there, but I couldn't really make it out.
So you think something else is watching us?
Our little friend definitely is.
Well, if that's the case, I'll be sure to stock up on ladders next time I go to the store.
Rory, roll me a wits and awareness of your very own.
Three successes.
It's at this point something unusual catches your eye. Far down the Riverwalk, as you're looking across all of the people, being a people watcher of your very own, you've become very attuned to looking for things of the unusual. You always have looked out for tourists, people that were easy marks, ways to make money, people to pickpocket. So you've become very attuned to looking to those that stand out. And this particular individual definitely fits the bill. Because while you see people in Hawaiian shirts, while you see people in suits, while you see people dressed up for a nice night out, this individual looks like they're going to Comic-Con, maybe? Or they're going to the Renaissance Festival, which is down in Deerfield Beach, not in Tampa. It's hard to say where they're going. They could possibly be unhoused based off of the state of their clothing. But the strangest thing is the large pointy wizard's hat that's drooped off of the top of their head, and the poncho that's draped almost down to their feet, the large combat boots. It is a strange array of clothing that this individual is wearing. They are traipsing along the end of the Riverwalk before posting up on a corner near a kind of an alley between two of the buildings at the end of the Riverwalk.
Rory's gonna watch the individual for a little while and then go, like, kind of turn to Delphine and be like, I know, like, nerdier things are bigger in the cities and you see a lot of weird things, but that fella over there is one, well, oddball to put it at best. And we'll point out the wizard hat individual.
Delphine will turn to look at the individual. I'm assuming she recognizes him.
Almost immediately. Takes no time whatsoever before you're transported back to New Orleans, before you're transported back to almost just over a year ago, or about a year ago. You're transported back to that night when you were looking to score, just like you were tonight. But it was a club and different friends. When it was a different friend who was just as desperate as you are now. Spud, as he is affectionately known, is dressed almost exactly the same as he was that night, including the round spectacles that he has upon his eyes. But what's he doing in Florida? But does that even matter? If he's here now, you know he's probably carrying. And whatever he's carrying, it'll scratch that itch that you have.
Delphine says nothing to Rory as she just starts making a beeline, determined with purpose, little pep in her step towards that man.
Hey, Delphine, and she's just gonna book it after Delphine, like putting out the cigarettes, but like still holding what's left. And once the ashes are like completely out, she'll pocket them and continue to book it after Delphine.
She is approaching him. She has every intention of grabbing him by his sleeve and pulling him into the alley.
As you approach and grab Spud by the sleeve and start pulling him, he goes, whoa, baby girl, be cool. As he tries to resist for a moment, but is not even able to as he's yanked into the alleyway.
Long time no see, Potato Man.
Have we met?
New Orleans, about a year ago.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Me and my friend went into your van. You made one of our other friends sit outside.
Listen, I have a lot of threesomes, so you're gonna have to be very specific.
That's not what I fucking want.
Hey. Manners.
Whoa. Sir, I apologize for her, and Rory will gently put a hand on Delphine and try to, like, not, like, fully separate them, but, like, kind of take space between them. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure we can work it out.
Wait. I recognize you. Sweet Cheeks. Hey! Look at you! What are you doing here?
Just getting around.
I'll say. Been a while.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking good.
Yeah, and you look the same.
I take care of my skin. What can I do for you?
I think you know why I'm here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I am happy to accommodate. But let's start over. Hi, it's good to see you. It's been a while. You're looking a little rough, but I can take care of you. Let's try some please and thank yous, and maybe we can, do some business.
She starts tapping the back of her heel a little bit. Just agitated with having to accommodate him right now.
Now, I'm not without understanding. You look like you're in rough shape, and it's been a while. Now, It just so happens that I've set up shop in town, so I can give you a good deal, and maybe we can set up kind of an arrangement so that you don't have to get in this bad of a shape anymore.
That would be ideal.
I got you, boo.
I'm not your boo.
You can be.
She ain't your boo.
Not interested.
Well, this isn't a really good way to start up a business arrangement.
I prefer to keep my business arrangements professional. That includes no dating within.
Hey, you got in my van.
To smoke. To hotbox. We didn't hook up.
Not that you remember.
Excuse me?
Never mind. I didn't take advantage of you. I'm not that kind of guy. Anyway.
I was about to say.
We can do I'm a gentleman. Yes, we can do business. Okay. What do you need?
That stuff that you gave me that night.
Oh, the same stuff.
The same stuff. I haven't been able to find it again. You seem to be the only guy who can make it that way.
It is a special recipe. That's true.
Everything else sucks compared to it.
That's very true. Okay. I got you. You got money?
She pauses.
How much you need?
How much did I charge you last time?
That was for 2 people. I believe it was 100. So one person should be 50, right?
You're thinking wrong, darling. I think your math's a little off there.
I don't think it is.
Roll me a charisma and persuasion. But don't forget, your addiction
Can Rory pull out the remaining cash she had from her last busk in Michigan
Yeah.
and offer Delphine a assistant die
Yes.
as she's starting to count bills?
This is gonna be bad. This is just rage. Wait, would you say that my rage has gone up?
Yes.
Okay. That is one success.
I think $75. I'll take care of you.
She'll look at Rory. I will pay you back.
Are you gonna take her in your van again, sir?
No. She can take this to go.
Then don't worry about it, Delphine. And she'll hand him $100.
Aw, a tip. Thanks. And he fishes around underneath his poncho. And then he furrows his brow. And then holds up a hand. And you see out of his backpack, a furry little paw pops up, holding a vial. He snatches the vial. Here you go.
She's gonna look to Rory first because she honestly doesn't know if she hallucinated that at this point or not. You saw the furry paw?
Yeah, I saw it.
So I'm not seeing things.
No, but we're in Florida.
It's my lab assistant. Don't worry about it.
She'll hold out her hand for the vial.
Enjoy. Oh, my business card.
I was about to ask.
Digs around underneath the poncho again, then pops out with a post-it note. You just give me a call when you need anything. I can come meet you where you're at, or you can come to my place of business.
Sounds good.
It's good to see you again, sweet cheeks.
Del.
Okay.
Sorry for assaulting you.
It's not the worst I've had happen to me recently.
And she'll just nod and put the vial in her pocket.
Hey, don't look so glum. Things are about to get better. It's already started.
And she'll, let out a few deep breaths. Yeah, they are.
What about you? You need anything?
Not
Hair
in
of the
the
dog?
market at the moment. Not in the market at the moment.
Well, if that ever changes, you just give your favorite tater a call.
Sorry, Tater, that's your name?
Oh, Spud.
Spud is your name.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it was nice to meet you, Spud.
Nice to meet you
Yeah.
too. Oh,
Yeah.
you're new to town, yeah?
Yeah, I'm new to this end of the lower 48.
Well, I'm good to, you can call me the tourist bureau too, if you need any, information.
I will keep that
I sell
in
that
mind.
too.
I'm sure you do, and I will keep that in mind. Delphine, you get what you needed?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go continue our little walk.
Enjoy your evening.
We'll be in touch, Spud.
Looking forward to it.
Delphine's gonna... Rory's gonna pull Delphine out of the alley and away from prying ears and be like, all right, what's the story?
Met him in New Orleans, and that's when I started.
And you got into his van.
Not alone. I got with a friend, and there was another friend outside the van waiting for us.
All right. And what is that? Because, granted, I don't do much, but that don't look like anything I've heard of.
She pulls out the vial, and she never saw the stuff before last time. He kind of filled the van with the smog or smoke or whatever it was. But she'll look at the vial and kind of study it a little bit.
So it looks very much like you're used to. It does look like meth, but there is a strange discoloration to it.
I mean, it looks like meth.
And it's supposed to be that color? I thought it was the same color as the stuff in Breaking Bad. Unless that's all Hollywood glamour.
That is a common misconception, actually. The stuff in Breaking Bad wasn't supposed to be blue, but it's actually supposed to be more of like a crystal quartz, like just a white quartz color-ish stuff. At least the stuff I usually get. I've never had any blue stuff, so yeah, that's all Hollywood bullshit.
Alright.
Good show, though.
It was alright from what I watched. You plan on telling the others about this little event tonight?
Why? So they can judge me like they always do?
We're all gonna get judged one way or another.
Yeah, we've already, especially Deadbeat.
Yeah, especially Deadbeat, after that lovely display.
They're probably not gonna let us back into the Sept after that shit.
Probably not.
I just don't need Ray's disapproving glare. Look, I don't need Juniper glaring at me, and I don't need Deadbeat cracking jokes. So if we could just keep this between us, please.
Alright. I'll keep it between us. However, if they ask, I'm not gonna lie to them.
I know I kind of fucked you and Juniper and Ray over with the whole Deadbeat shit, but you are at least don't judge me for this shit.
Not unnecessarily true, I just don't judge out loud all the time. I'm not a fan of this little habit, but if it's gonna put you on your A game, I can at least help you a little bit. We're a pack. Well, we're a group after all.
Great, I have an enabler. That's better than walking into an intervention.
I didn't say I was gonna enable you either. Just gonna help you out when you need it. As much as I'm still pissed as hell at you and Deadbeat. They did have some points back in Michigan and here. We need to stick together.
I didn't intend for it to go the way it did. Just so you know.
I'm sure you didn't. Look at Deadbeat. But at the end, you were still involved.
And I didn't stop him.
No, you didn't. But we live and we learn. And guys like Deadbeat never learn. So it was kind of a losing battle on your end, unfortunately.
She'll just nod. Can we go somewhere where I won't get arrested for this more than necessarily?
Yeah, we can head back to the car and you can light up in there.
Thank you.
You head away from the Riverwalk to get away from prying eyes. Delphine, when you do indulge, for the first time in a long time, you can finally relax. And I mean truly relax. You caught the proverbial green fairy. Again. The high is elation. You float amongst the clouds. You walk on air. But just like all addictions, it's only going to be for so long before it pulls you back down. And with this particular drug, it's going to pull you even deeper because the bond has started to establish again. Rory, what's going through your mind after this evening and this encounter?
She's not entirely happy that Delphine's using again, but like she said, if it's gonna get Delphine on her A game, it's at least like a win in a way. She's very suspicious of that Spud dude, and is just like, alright, now what am I gonna tell Ray if he catches Delphine? Because he's gonna know I was there with her, depending on when and if he finds out.
More secrets to keep between the pack. Secrets are no fun. Secrets are for everyone. Speaking of secrets, is there a secret being kept between a mentor and a protege? And did that secret come to light as that protege confronts that mentor in our next scene? Our next scene begins in the woods of Hillsborough State Park, surrounding the Sept cairn. A mentor and a protege move through those woods, investigating, inspecting, getting to know the land that will eventually become their home. As Guru, it's important to get to know the territory. For a lupus born, like Stakes her claim, it's very important to know, because this is where you hunt. This is where you feed. This is where you escape. This is your true home. For Juniper, this is probably going to be the only place she'll truly feel at home. So as the two of you move through the woods, finding places to stash changes of clothes, to make small dens, places to rest, places to recuperate, places to recover. The scene is yours. Stakes moves primarily in her Hamid form to look like a hiker, to not be out of place, as she primarily takes the form of a red wolf, which is not native to this particular region, though she seems very uncomfortable in doing so and will occasionally shift into her lupus form, but does not do so for your benefit so that you do not have to find yourself without clothing in an uncomfortable position. She eventually looks to you, Juniper, and says, "You're being quiet. Why?"
I tend to be quiet, Stakes. There's nothing going on. I'm just taking in the land and trying to feel some semblance of being at home. I'm just making an effort, okay?
You've been strange since that day, since the meeting.
I'm still not happy about many of this. And I chew on my inner cheek for a moment before stopping and looking back at her. You were right about needing to come down here, as much as I hate to say it, but I'm still upset about it.
I understand. It's hard to leave home.
Yeah. And I know that you know how that feels more than anybody else that we're here with. I just wanted to be able to fix things up there before having to leave. Though I think something good came out of it before we did.
Juniper, we're never going to be done fixing things. Up there, down here, anywhere. There's always going to be something to fix. We just have to keep going, keep trying. You did good. And we will go back, and we will fix more. But we have to learn more first. You have to learn more first. And it wasn't safe to stay there anymore.
Because of that wolf, or whatever you guys saw.
Not just that. There were many dangers. What they said is true. You weren't being taught right. And I can't teach you everything. I don't know everything. Not enough to teach all of you. The group, the pack, it will fall apart. If it had stayed up there, it was guaranteed. Down here, it has a chance.
I'm still iffy about some of the members. I know you know that.
You should be. They should earn your respect. And you should earn theirs.
Hard to do when they don't even know what that word even means.
Then we show them. or we beat it into them.
At that, I can't help but actually chuckle and actually laugh for once. That sounds like it might actually be a nice idea. Better than that than having to kill them, right?
Yes. I didn't trick you into coming here. I meant what I said.
I know. I was just really angry. And I said more than what I should have.
Rat told me something about you.
I look at her again with a little bit of confusion.
You have family here.
Like, family members?
Yes.
Oh.
I am bringing you to family. I don't know who specifically. Rat doesn't work that way. So we will have to find them together. But when I said I was bringing you to family, I meant it. But we will have to find them together.
All right. I kind of nod my head. Still a bit confused, but also just kind of bewildered at how things are working out, yet not working out, yet working out all at the same time with everything. Stakes, thank you.
There's one more thing.
What is it?
They are Guru.
What? Like new, like me, or
I don't
older,
know.
or at this point, I'm just kind of completely in shock. I don't even know what to say at that. I just I want to find them.
Me too.
Obviously. I just.
This is why we need to be here. This is why this was important. This is why I need you to trust me.
Yeah. I do. Stakes. I do trust you. And I'm sorry for what I said.
I know you're angry. You have many reasons to be angry. What happened to you should never happen to anyone. This is why we fight. This is what we fight for.
I don't want it to happen to anybody else. And
It's
I know
going
it will.
to.
I know. But I want to be able to stop it when I can.
We will try. Sometimes we will win. Sometimes we will lose. But we will keep trying. And we will not stop trying.
I'm glad you pulled me out of the snow that day.
Me too. I used to think I just came from the north. And then I asked Aaron for more information about where I came from. And when she told me, and then I met you, I knew the spirits were telling me something. The place I was born was Juniper, Michigan.
There's tears starting to well up in my eyes as we continue talking. And as I am like contemplating the recent past, the past over the couple months as we're talking, I just feel myself like becoming more and more like kind of overwhelmed with all sorts of complicated emotions. And as Stakes says that, I can't really like hold back the tears anymore. Um, this world is really fucked.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it brought us together.
Me too.
And I kind of sniffle. Sorry, I kind of sniffle and like wipe my eyes a little bit.
Sometimes good things can happen.
Yeah.
You need to be good. You need to do good. You need to show the others how to be good. I can't do this alone.
I'm not entirely sure if I know how to be good. And I do like the quotes thing with my fingers.
We'll figure it out.
I suppose that don't be a douchebag is one of the important rules of being good.
It's a start. Maybe save kicking for training.
It felt really good. Does
I
that
bet.
count?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Be good. Do things that make you feel good, and don't be a douchebag.
We'll start there.
All right.
Stakes gives a nod and then turns and starts walking into the forest again.
Are we at this point kind of deep enough into the forest where people won't really be around?
Absolutely.
When we get to like our next spot where we create like a little dugout space, I'll turn to Stakes and give a soft smile. Do you want to switch into something more comfortable? Go for a run maybe together?
Always.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. And I'll get ready and switch into lupus form with her.
As the two of you shift together into your lupus forms, running into the woods, now it feels like home. Now it feels free. Maybe the first time since you have arrived in Tampa, now you don't feel alone. Now you don't feel betrayed. Now you feel and truly understand the purpose for which you were brought here. And maybe, just maybe, truly, since you were dug out of the snow, Juniper has hope. We're now going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second part of tonight's story. See you soon.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaborations with our partnered vendors: Chromatic Creations, Panshi Artista, Ember Fox Dice, Devlin the Bard, Champs Tramps, and Howlin' Hop Tea. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stpetebynight.com. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. Pete by Night. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at coffee.com/St. Pete by Night to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back to the second half of tonight's story. In the first half, we saw a confrontation between Deadbeat and Ray following the introduction to the Sept leadership. We saw Delphine and Rory go to the Riverwalk, and Delphine had a reintroduction to an old acquaintance of hers, and now has a bit of a streamline, a connection, if you will, to a much needed asset. And then Stakes and Juniper shared a moment that put Juniper on a path that may help her and possibly the rest of the pack on a path of redemption. Now, in the second half, it is dawn. The pack is asleep. When suddenly, the door to the front of the house slams, waking everyone up. The scene is yours.
I immediately shoot out of bed, kind of going into my training to the sudden noise and door kicking down, reach for my gun in the truck. I assume that's where I'm still sleeping after hearing this noise, and pop out of the truck, take cover, and poke my head with my gun trained at the doorway.
Okay. You see that the front door to the house has been kicked open.
Delphine will groan in bed and keep the blanket, like, we'll start pulling the pillow over her head. Can you tell Deadbeat and Ray to fucking keep it down?
That wasn't either of them.
I don't think that was either of them either.
I'm going to also immediately jump to action and kind of crouch down and reach into my bag and see if I can find like one of my knives or my axe, maybe, because I can't remember where I put it right now.
Everyone in the house can roll a wits and awareness check if they so choose.
I was going to say for Deadbeat, pan up to the room, which instead of the panicky reaction everyone else had, Deadbeat is currently just rolled over now, facing the wall. Just like looked up, saw it was early, and decided that it was not worth it to get up or to check what's going on. So right now, he's just laying in bed trying to go back to sleep.
Rory got a 1 on her wits and awareness, but I'd like to burn a willpower to go by the door and activate blissful ignorance.
Okay.
And just go invisible.
Okay.
I got 4 successes.
With your 4 successes, you smell a very strong, coppery smell, which can only be blood.
Delphine will immediately get out of bed and reach for her phone and like look at Juniper and Rory, where she thought Rory was. And she'll look at Juniper. We should call the cops. They smell blood.
I rolled a 5 success with a crit.
You definitely smell blood. Very thick blood.
Do I find one of my knives or my axe underneath my bed?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my axe at this point. And I'm gonna like whisper to Delphine to like get down, get into cover.
Outside of the house, Ray, if you want to roll a wits and awareness as well too. The light of dawn has just crested the horizon, so it's a little bit, you can still see a visible light over the grounds from the driveway up to the front of the house. It is sight-based.
Okay. In that case, I will also activate Eyes of the Owl so I
Okay.
can see better. Four successes.
There are bloody footprints leading up to the front door.
I'm going to start making my way a little bit hunched, kind of moving with purpose, but trying to be a little quiet up to the doorway.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity and stealth.
Delphine is going to hide under the bed.
Okay.
I got one success.
Okay. So being as quiet as you think you can, you make your way towards the front door. Juniper, were you leaving the room?
I would like are the doors kind of like an old style where like you can see through the lock of the door handle? Or
No.
is there like there's no okay. All right.
No,
well,
these are
you know, I
modern
figured I'd
doors.
ask.
Modern enough.
Okay. So I am gonna crack the door open just a little bit as quietly as I can and try and see what the fuck is happening out there.
Based off of the position of the rooms and the hallway, you can't really see into the main living room. So it's hard to tell what's happening out there, but you don't see anything from your vantage point at the moment.
Okay. I would like to sneak out and close the door behind me again and slowly inch my way towards the living room with my axe at the ready.
Give me a dexterity and stealth.
Would I still be at 3 rage or would I be at 2 rage at this point?
I'd say after the moment you shared with Stakes, you're probably down to 1 rage at this point. That was a very calming, relaxing, kind of soothing experience. So I would say you've probably soothed yourself down to 1.
Okay. All right. I only got 3 successes.
Okay. That's pretty quiet. Sneaking your way down the hallway inch by inch, both you and Ray get into position just in time to look into the living room. At this point, you see Stakes sitting in Hamid form on the couch next to a man sitting in an armchair in the living room. The man is dressed in a dress shirt, sleeves rolled up, no jacket, slacks, shoes. He looks like he's about 6'6", with shoulders like a linebacker. Platinum blonde hair, although it's hard to see the blonde with the red blood spattered in the hair, spattered on his face, spattered on the front of the shirt and slacks on his arms and hands, and dripping still down his face. And he sits, his arms pleasantly folded in front of him, waiting. Stakes seems nonplussed, unbothered, as she sits on the couch.
I want to move in, gun trained on him the entire time, and look at Stakes, look back at the man. Who are you and why did you just break into our house?
If you want to keep those arms, you better put that gun away.
Answer my question first.
I am your warder, and you will do as I say.
soon as he says that, I will lower the gun.
As this is happening, I look at Ray and try and catch his eye and attempt to make a facial expression of, do I stay here or do I come out?
I will give a slight look and kind of move my hand saying stay there.
She may think I don't see her. She would be wrong. Raymond, gather your pack. We have much to discuss.
I will look at him for a few seconds, holster my gun, turn to Juniper. Well, you heard him. He knows you're there. I'll go get everyone else.
You could see me just like audibly rolling my eyes as he said his big scary words, and I was already like sighing to myself and beginning to walk out.
I will go to each room, knock on it. Hey, you guys need to come out. And then knock on Deadbeat's door a little bit harder, a little bit louder. Deadbeat. Living room.
Can you give me like 10 minutes, man? Like I'm I roll over in bed, kind of like head still gonna in the pillow a little bit. I'm just, come on, man. I'm tired. You gonna not wait like 20 minutes, bro?
No, Deadbeat. Get out of the room.
Let's let out a sigh as I roll out of bed. I get up. Oh my god. I just kind of throw on some whatever clothes I can find that would be the most comfy and just first thing I find, and then kind of unlock the door and walk out. Like, what's up, man? What's with the whole like crazy, like serious tone going on here?
There's someone here to see us. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the situation that happened. So we need to go out to the living room.
All right, I'll go down there. Can we make some cereal real quick? Do we have cereal? I didn't check.
Just go to the living room, Deadbeat. You can make cereal later.
I'll start walking down the stairs as I just waking up, yawning, stretching.
Delphine will crawl out from under the bed and just be looking around, just, Rory! Rory! Where are you?
That's when Rory will drop blissful ignorance and be like, I've been here the whole time.
All right, let's go.
Can I put on pants first?
Oh, yeah, I'll meet you out there.
And she'll just throw out a pair of pants and keep whatever else she was sleeping in on, and then make her way out.
So as you all assemble in the living room, as described, there is a very tall, very muscular man, completely soaked in blood, sitting in an armchair in the living room. He doesn't flinch, doesn't move, as all of you make your way in. That coppery smell of blood becomes very apparent to all of you. In fact, you can see the bloody footprints coming through the front door before stopping in front of the chair.
It's gonna take Juniper forever to clean that up. Man, at least gonna shower if we're coming here?
No. And you must be Deadbeat.
That's the name, don't wear it out.
I won't have to.
I'll
Sorry.
give a nod to that and sit down.
Sorry, are you okay? You're covered in blood.
It's not mine.
Can I tell if it's like normal human blood or something else?
I'll let you roll me a wits and medicine or wits and occult.
I'll do medicine.
Okay.
I was about to ask, can Rory also see if it's his blood, like what type of blood it is?
Sure.
And more so, like how long it is, like even though there's blood on the
Yeah.
ground, how fresh some of it is?
Yeah.
I would also like to roll.
But anybody can roll. Anybody who wants to.
I will not.
Am I at one rage after having drugs?
Yes.
I burnt a willpower and I got 2 successes.
Okay.
I managed to get 5 successes, no crit.
I spent a willpower and I got 5 successes with a crit.
Okay.
I got 3 successes.
Okay. So, for 5 successes, this is not human blood. This is definitely different, whatever it is. It's nothing you've seen, smelt, been around before. It smells dead. Long dead. Dirty, different, vile. Almost enough to make you want to huff and sneeze and blow your nose out. Bad. Rory, since you were looking for the age of the blood, it's probably about almost an hour old. For the 3 successes, it's definitely odd. Could be human, but unusual.
At almost regretting my want to look deeper into whatever this man is coated with, I can't help but like scrunch up my face in disgust as the smell just gets deeper and more overwhelming. Oh, what did you kill? Oh my god. What the fuck is that?
Vampires.
Delphine is
This-
covering,
Go
just
ahead.
covering her. She's covering her mouth, just trying not to gag at the scent.
The same vampires that are going to kill each and every one of you if you don't get your shit together. 3 litany breaks in one day. In the cairn. Were this 6 months ago, I'd be here to kill both Ray and Deadbeat. But it's not 6 months ago. And you have a very, very generous Sept leader.
With all due respect, Mr. Albrecht, I presume.
You presume correctly.
Why would Ray be in trouble for something Deadbeat did?
He answers for all of you. Keep that in mind with everything you do going forward.
In that case, Mr. Albert, why are you here?
It is my duty, my responsibility to organize, train, and prepare the packs of this Sept, as well as dole out their responsibilities, and I'm going to do exactly that. I have heard that you are ill-educated, that you don't even know what vampires are, let alone that they exist. Your Sept from Michigan did not prepare you properly. I could hold this against you, but I won't. Again, because of the generosity of our Sept leader. So I will see to your education as well. I expect obedience. I expect respect. I expect responsibility. Failure to do these things will be dealt with. Our Sept leader may be generous, but she has given me carte blanche to deal with it as I see fit. And I'm here to tell you, there are many, many worse things than death. And before you go quoting the litany to me about respecting the youth, those with the right of shame, until that shimonage is paid, have forfeited that right.
What about the other three? Me, Rory, and Juniper. We do not bear the mark of shame.
Then you have nothing to be worried about. Respect is due and earned.
Delphine will just glare daggers at Deadbeat.
I am currently looking around, like none of this conversation applies to me. Kind of just like, oh, that's weird. Like, you know, looking out of the window, kind of occasionally checking my phone, just trying to look nonchalant and not, you know, innocuous and totally innocent here.
Are there any questions?
Am I allowed to ask any questions? Considering I bear shame and I'm owed no respect.
Are there any questions from any of you?
What kind of training and education are you going to provide us?
Rigorous.
When do you plan on starting this training?
Immediately.
I was told that Eliza would be the best suited for my training. Is that no longer the case?
When I believe you're ready to see her, you will.
Does that go for all of us then with our respected moons?
You have already met Jester, and so far, you haven't completely offended her. Well, not all of you. And he looks to Deadbeat specifically.
Are they looking away, kind of down? placing my phone again, just not meeting his gaze.
Kicking a Black Fury in front of another Black Fury, especially a clave wielder, was ill-advised.
Look, man, I already said this. She did it to me first. I just paid her back, okay? It's karma. That's karma, man.
No, this is karma. And with a lightning flash, he strikes Deadbeat in the jaw so hard there is a crack. Deadbeat, take 2 points of aggravated physical damage as your jaw breaks and shatters. You can heal that after this meeting is over.
I'm just currently holding my jaw, like, writhing in pain. I can't quite formulate the words, mostly just, like, half-mumbled curses and, like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck's wrong with you? You fucking psycho?
He looks to Juniper.
I'm doing everything I possibly can not to let my lips twitch into a smile at the just perfection of that moment just now.
Give me a composure and resolve.
Oh no.
And your attempt to curse Deadbeat comes out more like...
Yeah, just, like, half-mumbled, like, jarbled words.
That's a whopping 2 successes.
You are able to keep it in. Just barely, but you are able to hold it in. Anything else?
How long is that gonna take to heal?
He should be fine by the end of the night if he knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna look over at Ray. Looks like we all get 1 day of peace.
I will look back at Juniper and give her a look of, yeah, I agree, but now's probably not the best time.
Delphine will look as if Deadbeat's still on the ground, like she's going to step around him into the kitchen, making sure not to meet Charles's gaze just because she's actually scared. He's scary, and she is scared of him. Watching him take out down Deadbeat like that made an impression. So very timidly, she's just going over to the fridge and getting an ice pack ready for Deadbeat for whenever Charles is gone.
It is my responsibility to see that no harm comes to this sept, from within or without. And I will do just that, by any means necessary. I can be your ally, or I can be your enemy. The choice is yours. Training begins tomorrow.
When and where?
Dawn, the cairn.
Understood.
Mr. Albrecht, regarding the cairn, the last time I got in, but it was trying to shove me out.
You will earn the cairn's respect if you show the cairn respect. The cairn knows what you did. Once you have gotten rid of that, he points towards the braid, you will find no trouble making your way in.
You need us to bring anything for tomorrow morning?
Dress comfortably.
I have could I potentially roll a resolve plus composure here to I'm quite upset. I think I'm at rage 4 now if my rage didn't go down at all since last time. Which I
Yeah,
I'm
you
at
can
rage
definitely.
4. So I'm gonna roll resolve composure here because I might just Krynos right
Sure.
now. I'm a little bit mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 3 successes. Okay, so
You can hold it in.
I hold it. I'm gonna hold it and just lay on the floor, like at this point, kind of putting myself back up into a chair, and if Delphine is offering the ice pack, kind of begrudgingly take it, as I'm
Nope.
going to. Oh no, okay.
Not until he's gone.
I'll just sit there holding my mouth.
Tomorrow, then. With that, he turns, after giving a nod to Stakes, and exits. The scene is yours.
Delphine will watch the door for just a couple of minutes before she finally just hands Deadbeat the ice pack, kind of placing it on his face already and then letting his hand rise up to hold it in place.
I'll give I'll just grab it, kind of, just verbalizing something, but can't quite understand as I can heal aggravated with Glabro, right?
Correct.
So at this point, you'll start seeing me, like, my body start to grow, and you hear the sounds of, like, sinew snapping and muscles reshaping as hair starts growing, as my size will increase, as I'll enter my Glabro form. Or homage, my bad, right? Oh, no, it's Glabro. I don't know why I was thinking Glabro. Or homage.
As all of this is happening, I also wait a few minutes before I just start laughing. I just start laughing. Just a wild, haha, fuck you, you deserve this. And it was so nice seeing it laugh. Oh. Oh, fuck, that was so good. Oh, that was so fucking good. And I turn around and I start walking back to my room to put my axe back under my bed. Oh, fuck. Oh, Deadbeat's gonna get his fucking ass kicked tomorrow.
The moment, like, everyone starts, like, leaving and, like, going back to their business, Rory's gonna let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. And then... Is Deadbeat's jaw still kind of, like, off-kilter, even though
Yeah,
he's
it's
in
very
Glabro?
much bruised and purple, and yeah.
Rory's gonna walk over to him, and can she kind of examine it and just kind of assist him in the process by, like, resetting his jaw?
If he lets you.
As you kind of get close and your hand goes towards my face, I reactively kind of slap your hand away as my jaw starts to reshape as I'm going to regenerate. I pass the rage check for transforming, so I'm at 4 rage still.
And then 2
And
rage checks for 1 egg.
Yeah, so the first rage check I got a 6 and a 5, so I lost 1.
Yep, so you're down to 3 rage, so that heals 1 egg.
Yep, and then I have 1 more, which is 1 success again, so I'm at 2 rage now as my jaw clicks back into place as I the half-formed words are actually becoming words again as I'm able to talk, and just the motherfucking piece of shit. Oh my god, he's lucky as hell I didn't go fucking full werewolf on his ass. I would have. my god.
He's lucky? That was with him in his human form. He broke your fucking jaw. And you think in full full beast mode you would have been fucking fine? No, he probably would have gone full beast mode too and fucking torn you to pieces. Carte blanche. You know what that means, right? He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Just stand there pissed off for a second. I just kind of quietly say, I actually didn't know what the fuck that meant. Damn it. Fucking. I'm just gonna kind of like look around for something to smash, but then realize all this shit's kind of irreplaceable right now. So I'm just kind of stomping around like, just pissed.
I tried to warn you, Deadbeat. Something was gonna happen. Looks like it did. And it will probably get worse. So, hopefully this was a lesson.
Probably it is gonna get worse. And Deadbeat's just gonna kind of like glare. Rory's gonna just glare at Deadbeat real quick and then go to the room and go about her business.
He killed vampires and then came here to fucking break Deadbeat's jaw. He has still had enough energy to fucking do that. And that's the guy that's gonna be training us? We're fucked.
I come back out into the living room at this point. Still just grinning my ass off.
Stakes is sitting cross-legged on the couch. She has a little Ziploc baggie of beef jerky that she's just gnawing on.
I mean, with everything the Sept knows about us and our previous education, this is probably their best course of action, some sort of Spartan training. It's going to be rough. I agree. But if we can go through it and we make it out alive, then we'll be better for it.
Do you know the degree that Spartan training? Because it's not good. It's not good at all.
We'll see if you can make it through it.
Oh yeah, you'd be more than willing to sacrifice Delphine, huh?
Nobody's getting sacrificed.
Oh no, I mean, you get to treat us like shit, you know. Just you see us as less than nothing and throw us around and break our jaws whenever they like, you know. Or they just treat Delphine even worse than they treated her back at the other Sept. At this point, I think you would have probably been better off the last fucking place. But no, we gotta be here. I gotta get punched in the jaw for no reason. Nothing not even my fault.
Do you know why they did that?
Why?
Because you treated them like shit. You came into their house. You shit on their floor. If you don't want them to do that to you, don't do it to them. I'm not saying you gotta roll over and show them your belly. You don't. You're right. You don't want them to walk all over you. I'm not saying we came down here to be their bitches. You're right about that. We are not their slaves. We are not their dogs. We are not lesser. And I want all of you to hear that. We are not lesser. They needed us. That's why we're here. We chose to come here. And Ray's right too. It's going to be hard. But the difference is, we all need each other. They need us, we need them. And they know it too. Yes, they sent in their biggest and scariest. I knew they would. Did I look bothered? Did I seem scared? No. I'm here eating my beef. Because, yes, they're going to beat us, but we heal. Yes, they're going to run us ragged, but we rest. Yes, They're going to drill the litany into our heads, and we're going to learn it. And we're going to get better. And we're going to live to fight another day. Because they can't afford to lose soldiers. And we can't afford to lose this fight. So quit bitching and moaning that you got your jaw broke. Look, it's already fixed. Quit being afraid because they came in here with blood on them. You're going to have blood on you too, and it's not going to always be yours. Might even be Deadbeat's one day. It's going to be okay. I wouldn't have brought you down here if it wasn't. It is scary out there. It is dangerous out there. But you're going to learn how to fight it. This is a trial by fire. And something you should know, consider it a lesson, Haru don't do so good with fire. That don't heal so good. But it will be okay. We will be okay. Listen, learn, keep your mouth shut sometimes, deadbeat. Especially around them folk. You can lip off to us, we get it. We all come from the same run-of-the-mill place. Be a little nicer to Ray sometimes. At least in front of them, okay?
At this point, I kind of hold in my breath for a second, kind of allowing it to cool, settle me down as I exhale, and as I do so, my body starts shrinking as I go back into my Hamid form. I can try.
That's all I ask.
God damn it. I just kind of sit down again, and I'm just going to look to Delphine for a moment and just kind of delay for a second before kind of muttering out, under my breath a little bit. Thank you, by the way. And just kind of, and look away and just stare out to a wall, just tapping my foot.
Delphine's eyes widen a little bit, and she kind of looks at everyone else to just be like trying to make sure that she didn't mishear him.
I'll look back and be like, yeah, I heard it, and it was great.
Don't rub it in, all right? It's just, I hate those fuckers more than I hate you guys, so.
Go ahead, Juniper.
I was just saying that I can just kind of like shrug at Delphine, like, yeah, you said it.
You're welcome.
Rory would come back out from getting changed for the day and go start cleaning up the blood that's now all over their apartment.
It's gonna be okay. I wouldn't have brought you here if it wasn't. And I won't let anything bad happen to you, as long as you listen.
Delphine will look at Stakes and just kind of give a little bit of a uncertain nod, but a nod nonetheless.
Now I gotta go take a shit. She hops off the couch and goes walking towards the back door.
Make sure to actually pick it up this time. Last time I walked out there, I stepped on some shit, okay? I don't want to have to keep cleaning my shoes.
That's your chore.
What the fuck? Oh my god. It's just like start getting up like, do we even want a fucking poop scooper out here anyways?
No, but I'm sure we can pick one up on our next grocery run.
Stakes, come on. Clean up your own messes. Don't make somebody else do it. Come on.
Fine. As the group contemplates their encounter with Charles, what's going through each of your heads, starting with Deadbeat?
This was definitely a very eye-opening experience for at least for Debbie a little bit in terms of like always be used being the strongest one. Even the old Sept, like it was 90% sure. Like I'm 90% sure I could take on it. You know, our old Arun Sept member and anyone else there if I really wanted to. But it's the first time I ever just got my shit rocked that hard by someone, especially just in their Hamid form. So kind of still like dazed and probably a little concussed by that whole punch still, as I'm also feeling I was incredibly pissed, but hearing the words of Stakes kind of acknowledging the worry of my worry of being treated as like a lesser or being kind of treated as a dog, a slave, and that's not us and that we are needed did kind of help cool me down. And so I'm kind of just a lot more relaxed, kind of anger now more directed towards the other Sept, or I guess now our other Sept members and not my own pact.
Delphine.
Delphine definitely got a reality check into what Geru life and other Septs are more like, because viewing how the Sept in Hell was, she viewed Geru life as more apathetic, just lazy in general, because it didn't seem like the Sept in Hell did much. In the time that they were there, she didn't really see much beyond just them in Hamid form, Lupus form, and every now and then meeting up at the cairn. So seeing Charles assert that dominance kind of shook her to her core a little bit and gave her a reality check of just, fuck, we're really in the thick of it right now, and we either have to get in line or get fucked.
Ray.
Like I mentioned earlier, I knew that something was going to happen. I knew that we were going to get some sort of punishment. I didn't expect this, but this was something I knew was going to come. This training that he talked about, it sounds like a good idea. Our education and our training from Hell was lackluster. So having someone put us through the ringer, albeit it'll be extremely difficult, hopefully will bring us together as a pack and we can bond over this experience together. And so right now it looks bad, but hopefully it comes out better in the end.
Rory.
Her emotions are a little bit all over the place. Being woken up thinking that there was an intruder and then watching what happened with Deadbeat. It kind of reminded her of that day that she got arrested and how she felt she couldn't help the person that got injured that day, and then Deadbeat turning that help away just kind of put another nail into the coffin that he's creating in her head of, all right, we'll never be able to work together. People like him don't change. And if we don't get our acts together soon, we are all gonna die. And that's a terrifying thing to think about.
And Juniper.
I am pretty excited for the training montage that we're about to go through, honestly. Seeing this seemingly psychotic man just fucking kick down our door, waltz in here like he owns the place covered in blood, and then punch Deadbeat so hard he broke his fucking jaw right in front of me was pretty fucking awesome, to be honest. And I'm hoping that what Stakes said about possibly having to beat respect into some of our pack mates' works. Really hoping that it works, because it definitely seemed to do something to Deadbeat, especially because he actually thanked Delphine for the ice pack and everything, and that made me decide to take that moment with Stakes to stand up for Deadbeat, whether he realized that or not. But he showed a little bit of respect there, so I'll make an effort to show it back.
There were a lot of takeaways from this moment. Not necessarily all of them were good, but it was definitely a lasting impression. Karma came knocking for the deeds that were done at that introduction to the Sept. The future will tell whether it was good karma or bad karma. Because the deeds that we take, the actions that we make, determine our future. And the future of this Sept is still being written, for better or for worse. We're going to transition now to our final scene, because some secrets are still hidden, and those secrets can be very, very dark. Because some of us have bad karma indeed. In our final scene of the evening, we arrive at a remote location, unknown to most of the pack. Because while the pack may have a shared home, one member of the pack has chosen a separate location, all of their own. A separate location that they share with another individual unknown entirely to the pack. An individual that they've brought with them from Michigan. A very special individual. Ray, where are we right now?
As I pull my truck in to the really densely packed driveway full of weeds and overgrown grass. A really beat up chain link fence is surrounding the property, surrounding a very small 1-bedroom, 1-bath house that has seen better days. This is a fixer-upper of all fixer-uppers. This is panels falling off the front, windows boarded up. The roof looks like half of it has been blown away. You can see a little bit of mold kind of taken some of the corners of the house. It is a very depressing house.
Depressing indeed. You chose this place because you wanted some place to get away. A place that you could keep for your very own. A place that nobody could find. A place with a secret. As you head inside, you're looking for someone. Someone very important to you. Someone you've had a history with. A long and important history. Dating back to before your change. Dating back to childhood. Your best friend, Jordan. A friend you served with overseas. A friend you fought beside. A brother in arms. Perhaps one of the only people you can say that you truly love. That bond is very hard to break. Even with all you've been through as an individual. Even with all you've been through together. Making your way through the house with its peeling wallpaper, its cracked paint, its moldy carpeting. You can hear the raspy echoing off the walls of the breathing from the room. As you reach the bedroom door, unlocking it with the key and pushing it open, you see the chair where you left Jordan. Did you tie him to the chair? Or do you just let him move freely if he chooses?
At first, I did tie him to the chair when everything was happening. When I first started to move with him, but it pained me to see him tied to that chair, so I leave him untied at this point.
Okay. So in the chair he sits, unbound, his long, frail, almost skeletal arms, skin clinging, his pallid, drained face, his almost straw-like dark hair, his deep sunken eyes, yellow teeth. Still just a frail, fragile shadow of the friend you once knew. His eyes even seem yellowed. Tiny, pinpricked pupils that drift over towards you in the darkness as you enter through the doorway. There is a very dim light bulb in a lamp over in the corner that provide a little bit of light. Raymond. You're back. Did you bring something to eat?
I'll look at him, feeling a little bit better after everything that happened tonight. His look still hurts, but it's good to see my friend. Yeah, I grabbed something on the way. Luckily, there's more options for food other than canned food here in Florida. So I stopped by McDonald's.
Oh, good. More fast food. I love that processed meat. Bring it here, please.
I'll walk over.
He holds out his long, frail arms, spindly fingers reaching out, fingernails starting to creep outwards, growing ever long out of the tips of his fingers as he reaches pleadingly towards the bag in your hand.
I'll walk over, hand him the bag to his outreached arm.
He takes the bag in one hand and keeps the other hand extended outwards as if trying to hold your hand.
You've always been such a good friend, Raymond.
I do my best, but I know I can be better in this situation for you. I'm still trying to find a way, and I will reach out and grab his hand.
As you make contact with his hand, the cold of his skin, he grasps your hand and you can feel his fingernails scrape against your skin gently. Make a stamina and composure.
That is only 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Take 1 point of superficial health and 1 point of superficial willpower damage as he grasps your hand. You see his eyes roll back as he... Such a good friend. He eventually releases your hand, letting his hand drop. And you still feel the cold of his fingers on your hand, to the point that you almost have to rub your own hand to warm them back up again. He then moves towards the bag and starts fishing through it.
So, why are we here, Raymond? Are we still running?
The hand that he grabbed, I will kind of clench into a fist and kind of put it underneath my other arm. No, I don't think at this point we're still running. I think we might be able to stay here for a while, which is good, because that means I have more time to look into how to help you.
It's warmer here.
That is one of the benefits. I hear it doesn't snow too much down here.
No. No, it doesn't. This is where it grows. This is where it grows. I can feel it growing.
I'll look at him a little puzzled. What grows? What are you talking about?
He blinks a few times, then withdraws a hand from the bag and shoves a few fries idly into his mouth, chewing them, several of the pieces of fry just dropping out of his mouth onto his chest.
What about your friends? Did they come down here too?
We all moved down here, yes. But, Jordan, what do you mean when you say you can feel it grow?
You want to know?
I am interested, but I also don't want to cause you any distress by telling me.
I can tell you, but I need more. And he holds out his hand again in your direction.
From what happened coming down here, I know what he does when I get in contact with him from the last body I found. But I know that if I give this to him, then he won't take it from anyone else. So I will reach out my hand and grasp it, because I need to know, and I also need to help my friend.
Okay. Give me, this time, a stamina and resolve to allow him to draw from you. And then I'll let you decide, based off the roll, how much you're willing to let him draw based off of the successes.
I got 4 successes.
Okay, so with 4 successes, you can decide. However, it is going to draw from both health and willpower. You can decide in terms of superficial and aggravated.
I will give him 1 more of each.
Okay. So as he clasps your hand, you feel the fingernails dig in this time, the cold fingers grasping. His eyes roll back. And as you feel it start to drain, he doesn't want to release. So you can either make a strength and athletics to try and pry your hand free, or you can allow him to draw more.
I don't want him to take too much, because I don't know what this does to him. And so I'm going to try to pull away.
Okay, strength and
gonna
athletics.
So what happens if my willpower is full of superficial? Does it do anything? Or
Yes, it puts you into inhibited, or I forget the word for it right now, but it puts you a -1. Impaired. It puts you at a -1 to your pools. Your social pools, though, because if it's willpower, if it's social based, social and intelligence based.
I will spend a willpower and I will fill up my willpower.
Okay.
Try and reroll some of these. Three successes.
Okay, you are able to yank your hand free, no problem. Selfish. Fine. It grows. It grows deep. It grows wide. Its thorns dig in. This is where it started. This is where the seeds were born. This is where it began. This is where you were brought. She wanted you to come here.
When he mentions the seed, I'm going to assume he is talking about the seed that I pulled from the fertilizer when I was up in hell. So that confirms what we talked about at the Sept yesterday. So that is good information to have. But I don't know what he meant by she wanted me to come here. I want to ask, but I know he'll want more, and at the moment I can't help him. I can't give him more.
I love our visits, Raymond.
You know I'll always be here for you.
Always.
I swear, I'll find a way to help. I'll be sure to bring you back to where you were.
You're already helping in so many ways.
But I can do more, and I will. You have my word, Jordan.
Yes. Help me. Keep helping me.
That's all I want.
As you watch your friend try to eat the food that you've brought, more of it seems to fall out of his mouth than go into his mouth. You contemplate the information you've been giving. Who is this mysterious woman that wanted you to go here? The seeds. You think about that vine, that weird thorned seed that you found in the fertilizer up in hell. The seed that you were thinking about talking to the Sept leader. The seed that apparently came from Florida. The pieces are starting to fall into place, but this is going to require a lot more investigation. Like Stakes said, to get that information, you're going to have to play nice with the Sept. But you also think back to your other mission. The mission given to you by your original Sept leader, Red. Don't trust the nation. They're gonna use you. He's gonna expect a report soon. It's hard being the leader. A lot of responsibility, a lot of expectations. And now, with a best friend possessed by a bane of famine, on top of it all, this job just got a lot more complicated. And this is where our story for the evening comes to a close. But as we always say in Rage Across Tampa, we couldn't end this story without one last scene. We find ourselves on a city street in a really run-down neighborhood in Tampa. As if out of a horror movie. It is the middle of the night, and a misty fog rolls along the street. Porch lights seem to be the only light illuminating, along with street lamps that line the street. We hear a shuffling of feet along the street. And every now and then, a coughing, a wheezing. We see an individual stumble into view, leaning against a street post. They have shaggy hair, ripped jeans, combat boots. It's the same vampire we saw at the end of our last episode of Rage Across Tampa that emerged from the ground. Eyes bugged out. They look wildly around, unsure of what's happening to them. They then look to the nearest house and with reckless abandon charge towards the door, bursting in. And then we hear a scream, followed by another cough, and then 2 more, and then 3 more, all of different pitches. And this is where our story comes to a close. Thank you so much to our amazing players. Thank you to everyone watching at home. Hellhounds is seriously just beginning, so tune in every Friday here on YouTube to stay in the know. And tune in on Tuesdays on Twitch to stay up with Rage Across Tampa. You can also see the video on demand of Rage Across Tampa here on YouTube as well. So just stay up to date with everything Rage Across Tampa related and Hellhounds related, because it is all going down. This story is amazing. Go follow us on St. Pete by Night on all of the social media. And if you like what you see, come join our community. Follow that Discord link. You could be a part of our amazing group of people that get together to do some amazing activities and talk about World of Darkness and talk about all kinds of cool things. We'd love to have you. But for these amazing players, I'm Kent. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. Hellhounds is produced in arrangement with the World of Darkness and Dark Pack. The storyteller for Hellhounds is Kent. Tonight's characters were voiced by Jay, Lilith, Ben, Nikki, and Caity. Theme song Rage Across Tampa lyrics by Preston and Kent. Visit our website at stpetebynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.